All right, guys, what's going on? So for those of you who have a fourth gen Ram or even a third gen Ram for that matter, you've probably come across the dreaded cabin vent water leaks. These are the cabin vents right here. These are right behind your rear seat, and they're susceptible to leaking. And what happens is when it rains, water will actually come past the seal on the backside and then end up dripping down. So the cure for that is to replace them, and Mopar has replaced them with a newer style that supposedly doesn't leak. It's the same cabin pressure vents that are used in the Ram, the same as the Jeep and some of the other ones. So, but the instructions, per the service manual, says that you need to remove the bed to change these vents. Well, that's not going to happen. So I got a quick little way that I can kind of show you what I did. Kind of helps it a little bit easier to kind of get into place, and I'm going to show you that right now. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take the old ones out, and it's as simple as there's 3 tabs at the top here. You're going to press down on these 3 tabs, and then there's a couple at the bottom. Once those tabs are loose, the whole thing will actually push towards the back. And as you can see, you can't get it out, so you can't go up, you can't, it's stuck. So this old one, you can kind of pull it out of place. And the new one, can't even get this out. Over time, these little seals right here, they just start to go bad. And then there's just like see like this one here, like there's no play. I mean, there's no like tightness to it. So they just sit in there and they move quite a bit. So what happens is water will end up coming down and getting around the outside, and a lot of times like road debris and stuff like that will get in the way. Well, these are the old style, and this is actually the new style. So it's very similar as far as the way that the venting works. So they both vent. The difference is, if you look, here's the old style, how it has the lip right here. The new style has a little bit more of a smaller, more tighter seal. So once you take this out, the first thing you're going to want to do, grab yourself a rag, or in my case, I'll just use a towel. And it's always a good idea to just wipe along the edge on the inside, just to make sure that there's no extra debris in the way. So, and then these are marked top up. Well, clearly that's the right way. And it's going to go in obviously like this. But here's the situation. The old one, you can kind of force out, because if it breaks, no big deal. But these new ones, they don't really fit. So, and that's why the service manual says to take the bed off. But what I've actually done is this. So I'm on the outside of the truck right now, and basically what I've done is I grabbed a small, basically 1/4-inch piece of plywood and a nice big pry bar. So what I'm actually going to do is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm gonna try to see if I can show you. So here's my hand, right? So what I'm gonna do is, this is where the vent has to go. So I'm actually gonna take this block of wood, I'm gonna come up from the inside, and I'm gonna come to the outer edge of the body. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a pry bar, and very carefully, so as not to scratch any paint here, we're going to put the pry bar down up against that board. And then we're just going to apply a little bit of pressure. And then by applying a little bit of pressure, it actually gives a little bit more of a gap here. A little bit of a gap was enough to get that to pop through. And I'm just going to set it in place, carefully remove my pry bar, and that block of wood just falls to the ground. Now we can come back inside the truck. And here's that vent. So now all you need to do is just pull it until it clips. 1, 2 clips up top. 2 clips at the bottom. And you can see this thing's in there good. This thing's in there solid. So it's as simple as that, guys. These things, they are notorious for leaking. So if you have, like I said, a 3rd gen or a 4th gen truck, and you have a faint like mildew smell, or if you have the storage compartments in your under your seats like this right here, these storage compartments, and you have water in them, or I have a subwoofer on the other side and I had standing water underneath the subwoofer, that's a telltale sign that you got a leak somewhere in the back. I've been chasing leaks in this truck far too long. My 3rd brake light was leaking. My rear sliding window was leaking. My sunroof, I think, is still leaking. And while I had the whole interior out, I had the rear window replaced, the 3rd brake light replaced and resealed, and the window, the sunroof's been, messed with, multiple times. But I had pulled the entire interior out, and lo and behold, when it poured out the other day, I got into the truck and I saw all water sitting on the top of these. So I was like, oh, maybe those are them. So what I ended up doing was just taking a hose and just spraying the back of the cab underneath the window so that I knew it was not the window or the 3rd brake light. And obviously when I was spraying it, I could see the water just starting to seep in around the top. So went to the dealership, guys. They're like $14, $15, super cheap, cheap fix. Dealership wants $1.5 billion to replace them because they think they charge you to remove the bed, and they probably do exactly what I just did. But there you have it. If you have a Ram and you need those to get replaced, that's the easiest way that I found to be able to get those done. Just a small little 1/4-inch piece of plywood and a pry bar, just enough. You're really only moving the sheet metal on the back of the cab by maybe 1/4 of an inch, and it's just enough to be able to slide this new vent in place. So hope that helps. If you enjoy little tips like this, please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell button so you can be notified of other videos that I got coming up. And as always, guys, I appreciate the follows. Take care.